joints on that aren't on Meyer's lines. The ramic area, which holds the posterior adductor, the magnus, gets problematic. So, which side did we just work? This one? So I need to come around the table. I do crossover to do the technique. Now, what is this one going to be? Most people think it's a rollover, but it's not. So let me talk to you about another concept. The concept is translatory tension. Sideways restrictions. How do we assess something sideways? If we do it on the arm, it's like taking, relax, take it here and trying to pull sideways. And then measuring the restriction of the pull. Well, clearly that, and a lot's going on here is holding that. This is just a bigger version of that concept. Of course, the location gives us difficulty because of where I'm placing it. That's why clothing and draping at all times should be done for adductor work. No exception. Why? Because emotionally and psychologically for both the practitioner and the client, the protection of clothes is just allows you at least the flexibility to palpate, you know, the respect. So through clothing with permission, because if she's going to feel my forearm area up against the bone lightly. So I'm going to drop down as far as I can, push up against or feel where the bone is. Are we okay there? Mm-hmm. Now, she's going to do the slight active, a squeeze, and now relax, and on release, I push it sideways. Now, it should hurt if it's very tight. Or did it hurt? Okay. Well, what's happening is I'm deciding to use a more aggressive technique to break the adhesion. Now you feel it, don't you? Yeah. And now feel the difference in the tension of the hamstring. If you're wondering why a tendon doesn't let go, there's lots of reasons. There's a lot of three-dimensional pelvic tissue that we have to negotiate along a line to change. One more step around walking around the circle of the park, right? Got a big old circle with lots of spokes on the wheel to get to the center of something to change. So osteopaths who, you know what I love about osteopathy? Because they ask very similar questions, but they're not so rigid in how they frame the question. Osteos will go, well, you know, if that doesn't let go, check the opposite side. Oh, that doesn't let go? Oh, let's see. The middle, let's go east. Well, let's go west. In other words, in old school is if the hard place doesn't go to the soft place. If it's not working there, go above. Or go below. Well, in the pelvis, what's that? Do the diaphragm, do the pelvic floor, do the inguinal. What's going on with the viscera? Do a psoas. In other words, when it doesn't let go, you've got to understand what that's telling you. What you guys do typically is, oh, I better go harder. I must work on it longer. That's where you start getting things not happening. It took a lot of years for me to understand that. Teaching you now, hopefully, will save you 15 years, you know, in your practice to start to get that. That comment took 30 years to say. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because now, proof's in the pudding. Feel the difference. Now put an elbow down on there. Who's doing it over here? Work that tendon and see if it responds. Now, now, you find the tendon, you relax yourself. No, relax. There you go. Ah. You feel that? You got to be able to feel it with your forearm. You can't just, yes, stay with it. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Breath. You feel it responding now? Yes. Stay with it. Now it's starting to lessen, isn't it? It's letting you in deeper, isn't it? Yeah. What's the pressure feel? It's changed, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I have not changed it.
And you haven't changed it. That's a response. That's what you're after. But to get it, we have to take a journey. Do you understand why I'm teaching you principles and methods, not just technique? because that won't work on every person if I don't teach that landscape for you. If I teach then one technique in this course and you understand that, I've done better than teaching you 10 techniques that you don't know what you're using. You got it, you know what I mean? And I've learned as a manual therapy and massage educator, really, we've all agreed, because I'm blogging with other educators worldwide, if we need to change how we're teaching people, this is what I'm doing. I'm changing my principle. I'm making sure the principles and the methods are understood. So then because, where is he? Where'd he go? You're not being taught that thoroughly enough as a beginner in school.
No.
You're being taught technique.
MFR with knuckles, that's it.
Yeah. You're not getting what the feel is or why you're doing it. You have a general why, but you're not hooking the technique and theory with the application. This is what we need to do. Does that make sense? All right. So now, you had a question. Now I'll answer your question.
How long would these results last?
Finally! Do we have a prize? Would you like a piece of my cake? Okay. Now see, I wait for that question.
The
I
first
wait
thing
for
you
that
said in the
question. Every
morning.
workshop I've ever taught for 25 years has that question. That is the most universal question that is ever asked. Okay? Now, before I answer it, could you answer it for her? What would the answer be? How long will that last?
But, I mean, it
Until
could
the
last
tension
long
generates
and it-
again.
As long as the tension
As long as it, yeah.
doesn't come back again.
Now,
There are a lot of factors which is affecting
yes,
that
there's a
tension.
lot of factors.
If she's got a seated job or I mean,
Yeah, or if she
things
go-
similar.
Do we follow up with something that person needs to do at home, or?
Of course you do. But do I need to teach you that right now? No. You already know that better than I do. It's a functional or movement view, isn't it? I don't need to teach all those views. My God, would that be labor intensive? I just got to teach what I teach because you already actually, so you know this material. It's just reinforcing for you what you already understand. But you see how I'm answering it differently? Because you're used to a very physiotherapy answer, and I'm not giving you that.
Like different schools of thought, like some people they just give a, like say just do 2-3 functional movements. Some people say you should actually do like little stretches, like they'll show specific hamstring stretches and this, that. So in your practice, what do you follow?
Okay, that's a fair question, and I will answer that. And it had to do with the discussion this afternoon. Where's my, with you and your sister. Where is
Can
she?
I sit
Right. Where is she?
I'm here.
Over here, okay. Now,